everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the wrapping up of my second trimester. I cannot believe this. It's definitely flying by. February felt like it went by like this, and I can only imagine that the next couple of months are going to go equally as fast, if not faster. So currently today, the day that I'm filming, I am 27 weeks, 5 days. So this weekend I hit the 28 week mark, which is kind of the beginning of the third trimester. And I'm trying to figure out, there is and there isn't a lot to share. I have thankfully had a very uneventful pregnancy, and I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. But it also just kind of leaves me feeling like I don't have much to share because there's not much to share. So kind of recapping the last few months. So my second trimester was December, January, February. I did touch a little bit on some of the December things in my first video, which I will leave linked above, where I dive a little bit more into telling our family, due dates and things like that. So I will say, first thing with cravings, I still haven't really had any. Again, maybe my understanding of like cravings is a little bit different to everybody else's, but I know that people have had some very, very bizarre combinations of food, and that's not me. But I think that I would say something that I've eaten more sweets recently than I have in a really long time, which also bothers me on a different level, but we're gonna cope. But I have been having, yeah, like Oreos, for example. Not that I was craving them, but we had them, therefore I ate them. So my husband bought me some Oreos for Valentine's Day. We bought a couple different combinations, and I've obviously been eating them because I don't want to waste them. I did have a little bout of eating ice cream. We had some homemade ice cream, which is definitely less offensive because I know exactly what's in it. But I was eating a Tim Hortons, I think it was Campfire S'mores. I don't know if it's being discontinued across Canada or if it's just like my Sobeys was getting rid of it and it was clearanced. So I've gone through a couple of those tubs over the last month and a half or so. But I am very good. Like, I don't sit there and like chow down on it. I'll have a couple of spoonfuls and then I'm good. So I think I'm still rationing the sweets rather well, but I'm just consuming more than I typically would, which is concerning to me, but we'll get to that in a second. Another thing that kind of popped up that I just wanted spontaneously one day, and of course we didn't have it, was Quaker oatmeal. Like the maple brown sugar one, I just wanted it. We did not have it. And then my husband went grocery shopping the next day and I was like, please grab it. So I have had a couple of those, but nothing where I'd like stop dead in my tracks where I'm like, I absolutely need to eat this right now, or like I need to put these two things together and eat it. I haven't had any of that. So leading from the sweets, I will say that mentally I'm a little bit worried that I have my glucose test coming up. I'm just getting my requisition sent to me today actually. And I don't think I have gestational diabetes, but I'm also like, I was reading into it trying to figure out like, are there any telltale signs? Because again, I've been having more sweets, even though eating sugar is not directly linked to having diabetes, like I'm saying the real world, in the non-pregnant world. But again, I'm just a little bit nervous that that's gonna be kind of a curveball thrown my way. But other than that, like appointment wise, I haven't had a midwife appointment for the last, I think it was about 6 weeks. So I haven't really touched base with my midwife for a little bit. But when I did, I have a blood shot that I have to do next week because I am an O negative blood type, my husband does not. And then I need to go to the hospital the day before to do some blood work to get my name down for that shot. Then I gotta drive there the next day, pick it up, go to my midwife's, get jabbed. And then I also had to do not 1, not 2, but 3 anatomy scans because things just weren't working out. So initially I got my first anatomy scan just over 18 weeks. And they say 18 to 20 is when you're supposed to go, but I guess closer to 20 is what they actually aim for. But I was on holiday, I was on Christmas break, so I really wanted to know the gender, which I think I alluded to in the last video. I don't think I'd shared it in that one. I shared it later on, but we are having a baby girl. So when I had that first appointment, they told me, the text said, I'm not gonna be able to get all the measurements because baby's not big enough yet for some of these. And I said, no worries, I have no problem coming back. I just selfishly really wanted to know the gender. And she's like, no worries, I got you. So I went back 2 weeks later, I think just over 2 weeks later, and did another one. But the follow-up was only 30 minutes, where the original appointment was an hour, and the tech was like, I'm gonna try to get everything that they want, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. And then she also told me that depending on the radiologist that's looking at the numbers, they may or may not agree and may ask me to come in again. So went to my midwife appointment and was told, yep, you need to do another one because there's just 2 measurements left that they need that they weren't able to see. And it could have just been baby's position as well, or again, the radiologist wanted a different number. Whatever the case may be. I was told not to worry about it. It was just a lack of information, not a concern with the information. So I haven't seen my midwife since then. Again, I would assume if something was of concern, they weren't gonna make me wait weeks on end to find out. So there's that. We talked about the gestational diabetes test. I do have diabetes in my family history, but that's only one risk factor. Now, because I'm not a geriatric mother, because I don't have the other factors, they think I should be good. So they did ask if I wanted to skip the 1 hour and go straight to the, I think it's the 3 hour one. And I was like, no, let's try the 1 hour and see what happens there. So I'm hoping that I can get it done next week. I'm supposed to have it between 24 and 28 weeks. And next week is my 28th week. I'm hoping that that works out. But yeah, that's kind of all like the medical stuff out of the way. So one nice thing of having those anatomy scans means I get more pictures of baby girl, which is exciting. And I won't be sharing her name just yet. I don't think I'll be sharing it online for the foreseeable. I may or may not share it when I share some of my baby shower photos. I will talk about that next. So baby shower. I am having it hosted at my cousin's house, which was lovely of her to offer, just because I had no problem hosting it in my house, but we're a little bit farther away. My best friend was like, if you need a place, you can come out here, but her drive is significant for even myself. So for all of our family that's an hour east of us, is gonna be almost like a 2 hour drive. So my cousin's place is kind of like a happy medium for just about everybody, which is fantastic. And so I am doing the little cuties theme, which I'm so stoked about. I've got a bunch of ideas. I'm trying not to go crazy on the decor, but speaking of decor, it leads in really nicely to what we're planning to do in the nursery. I think I shared with you guys last time I was kind of toying between the Dusty Rose Sage Green and the Clementine type theme, and Scotty really liked the clementines. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for the clementines. So part of me is gonna spend a little bit more on the decor for the shower because it can be repurposed in her nursery. And we're gonna share the name with the rest of our family and guests at the baby shower. So the baby shower is planned for the end of April. So I have, I think I wanna say like 7-ish weeks till then. So lots to do. I've never actually been to an official baby shower. I went to one that an old coworker hosted for one of our coworkers. It was just like the 6 of us from work. It wasn't like a big hullabaloo. I've never done that before. My cousin's never done that before. So we're relying on Pinterest and my due date groups for some information. And everyone's been great. People are like, you can do whatever you want. And like, I want it to be fun, but I also want to like spend time with families. We're doing a co-ed shower. And my cousin has a dartboard and a pool table in the basement, and they have a great backyard. So the guys can come, male cousins can come, and they can play games, hang out, chill, and all that jazz, which would be awesome. Like, I really want to do a balloon arch. I actually bought a balloon arch for our wedding, for either the rehearsal or like one of the things, and I just never got to it because it just was not a priority. It just kind of got sloughed to the side, so I'm determined to do one this time. But I'm excited to get my crafting on, excited to figure out what's gonna happen with this room. We now have, sorry, I got this one hair. There we go. We now have an option of 2 cribs because the first crib that was given to us by Scott's aunt is missing some hardware and we might not be able to replace it, but his mom got hands on another one that was from a family friend. So I think we're good for that front. I have not done a registry yet. I've set up a couple, but I haven't done much with them. So I actually went to Toys R Us the other day and signed up with them because Toys R Us is probably one of the only Canadian companies that actually does a gift bag of any sort. Amazon in the States is great. Amazon in Canada sucks. So that was a bit disappointing. So inside of it, it gave me a like little trends and tip sheet, as well as things to put on the registry. They're basically like, do you want the gun to go around and like scan stuff? And I was like, no, I'm just gonna sign up for this today and see what happens. So this will be kind of helpful to figure out what else I'm missing, because we have basically most of our major stuff, which is fantastic. But I also don't need, I know clothing is like a hot topic on registries and people are like, we don't need them if we're getting a whole bunch from people. So we'll see how that goes. But to share what's in here, we have some water wipes. There are 10 of them in this little package. Again, I've heard a lot about different baby wipes and I haven't gone full gung-ho into researching them. I know that there are some scrunchy mums and some crunchy mums, and then what is the other one? Silky. So I don't know where I fit on that scale. I don't. I haven't really given it much consideration. But moving on, I've got the Oliva Naturals Cocoa Berry Toddlers and Kids shampoo and body wash. It is now rolled too far away. I cannot get that again. But I got a little sample of that. This is the Oliva Naturals. This is the body lotion, which is also the cocoa berry. We have a smoothing diaper cream. And then the last one is Easy Sleep Hair and Body Wash. It says soothes and calms, so I'm assuming there's lavender in it or something lavender-esque. Then there is Boogie Wipes, a gentle saline nose wipe sampler. Just the one. There is a Philip Advent electric breast pump coupon, and if you have the Advantage card, there's additional 10% off. But I got a breast pump from my sister-in-law, the Medela one, I believe. I don't remember what the model is, but I've got that taken care of. And the last thing they have in here is a Dr. Brown's Naturaflow anti-colic bottle. And again, I've got a variety of bottles from my sister-in-law, and I know there's other bottle sample packs. I'm planning on breastfeeding. That is the goal. I'm hoping it lasts as long as I can make it last, but we will be introducing bottles simultaneously, even if it's just breast milk, so that my husband can feed the baby and not just me. One other thing that I don't think I ever actually showed on the vlog, I think I showed it on my Instagram, and I had this for a long time. This came like early in my first trimester as a sample from Huggies. So there's a few different freebies with companies, but a lot of them are just like coupons versus actual products. But the Huggies one has 24 newborn diapers. Nice little pack right here. And then I know a lot of people advise, again, stocking up on newborn, depending on how big baby is. Sometimes baby's born bigger than a newborn. I would have been considered a newborn size. I was 6 pounds, 8 ounces. So we're hoping, I'm hoping we're gonna have a little baby. I don't think Scott was overly huge, but you never know. And then there's also the Huggies Natural Care Sensitive Fragrance Free Wipe. This is the plant-based with 99% purified water, and there are 56 wipes in this apparently. I need to definitely learn some baby math with the way that dental products are sold to make sure that we are getting the best deal, because I know that that's obviously an item that you go through so much, and lots of people do like diaper raffles at the shower and stuff like that, or just like ask for that. People do diaper cakes. So that is something that I will add to my list to look at for the baby shower. A couple things that I've picked up. Sorry, this is kind of all over the place. It's just kind of what's coming to my mind. I bought a belly band recently. Just went off Amazon, nothing overly fancy, because I'm not really big yet. And I actually felt kind of stupid buying it because of the fact that I am not very large. But it definitely, on days where I'm like cleaning the house and doing a lot while I'm on my feet, it definitely helped. So very excited for that one. I know there's ones that have like the across the top of the bump when you get like substantially larger. So if I need to get that down the road, then I will consider it. But for now, that will suffice. I will do a bump update before the video is through. So if you're curious, you will see what my nearly 28-week bump looks like. Something that I picked up recently, I actually walked away from this a couple weeks ago because they didn't have anything that was like a small enough size that would make sense seasonally for her. But when I went back and I saw this and it was a 12-month, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it because I love it and I've already seen it once and I keep thinking about it. And it's this adorable little romper outfit. So it's the sage green and it's got a little bit of coral and floral. So it was really sweet. And I figured at 12 months, technically she's a June baby, but even if this fits her sooner, we have spring. So I feel like this will actually get used, unlike some of the other things. And then you guys would have seen, if you watched my last vlog, which apologies, it was a couple weeks ago, I bought some blank onesies that I can get all crafty in. I think for the most part, that's about all that I purchased. I am doing really well with not purchasing a lot of stuff. But again, that crafty side of me is trying to do something for her. So I did a cross stitch for my best friend's daughter when she was born, and I want to do something like that for her. And I don't know, I kind of want to do, I think the like birth stats one. I think I have a template for that. But one thing I picked up some yarn, and this is, I know, a very bright orange compared to even my paint swatches, but I wanted to kind of just crochet a couple little clementines, and this is just kind of a test. I haven't really got very far, if you can see it right here. It's just the base. But yeah, I don't want to go like super heavy into that decor where like I feel like everything has to match it, because like that's just stress I don't need. Obviously you want it to be pretty for pictures, but that's just a vanity thing. So I think we're gonna lean into the greenery as well as the clementines, so that way I can have sage green be my prominent factor. Now, other things of note for the second trimester. Again, I haven't had very many like symptoms. My energy, I would say I've definitely had bursts of more energy, but now as the second semester has closed out, I have lost so much energy, but also because I've been having a lot of the pregnancy insomnia. Or maybe I'm calling it the insomnia because it's the only word I can kind of associate with it, but like my lack of sleep has been not pleasant. And then I'll have some days where I sleep great and I will feel fantastic, and those are the days where I'm like, I just want to go, 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 and then I burn myself out, and then I'm dead again for a few days. So this week's been really, really rough. And thankfully I haven't picked up any other supply gigs for the morning, so I have been able to sleep in, which has been fantastic. But I feel very, very lethargic, and it's definitely trying. It's trying my patience. But the tossing and turning has been so bad, with a pillow, without a pillow, like a maternity pillow, and it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I wouldn't say it's diet related, although I am going to start taking more magnesium again. I had to change my prenatal pills because apparently the brand that I was using is on back order and nobody can get their hands on it. And I have checked many a store and online, and they're just nowhere to be found. Hoping that mine comes back in stock, because the supply that I bought is only a couple months supply. And I'm going to obviously continue to take them once baby is born. But yeah, we are on the official third trimester. And I'm hoping that, I think the goal is I'm going to go on mat leave just before the May 2-4 weekend for my Canadians. I think the Friday is like the 17th of May. And I think that will give me a couple of weeks before Bub is supposed to come. And even if she's a couple weeks late, it gives me time just to be settled and organized and like calm and relaxed, because I feel like I'm going to need it then. And then the upside of that for me is that next year when I have to go back to work, after I'm only doing 12-month mat leave, it means that I can work 6 weeks of the school year before going off again for summer. So that is the goal, and it means I don't really have to worry too much about childcare for those few weeks. And then Scott feels very brave right now that he'll be able to, you know, take over. We're gonna see how that goes. That might be wildly optimistic, even with her being a year old. Who knows? Time will tell. But I will do my little bump date, and I'm sure I'll think of something else that I have forgotten to share. All right, so a couple things that I should mention that I haven't mentioned with my bump date is weight gain. I have now currently gained just over, I want to say just over 10 pounds. Yeah, I'm like bordering on like 11 pounds now, which is great. It's not obviously excessive. It's still the heaviest I've ever been personally, and that was something that I was really, really concerned with at the beginning of my pregnancy, was just the mental, not strain per se, but just my capability of acknowledging that weight gain, but knowing it's obviously because I'm growing a human being. So yeah, I've coped much better than I thought I would. And I think it's primarily because I don't look like I've really gained a lot of weight. I'm happy because right now I don't look pregnant. unless like depending on what I'm wearing, if I turn then obviously you can see it, but like I haven't like widened too much, which again, everybody is different, but personally I think that's really helping my mental state that I'm on the trimmer side. Now with eating, I have definitely noticed that I'm eating more, and that is what I'm struggling with at the moment. I literally like just put a post on my due date group this morning where I was like, okay, what's the deal here? Because I don't necessarily feel hungrier. So in my mind, I feel like I'm overeating because I'm not like starving and needing to eat. I'm just kind of like, hey, I feel like I'm supposed to be eating right now, so I should eat something. And again, it means I'm having a baby bell, it means I'm having some grapes, it means I'm having a Nutri-Grain bar. I'm not sitting and eating like, you know, 7 meals a day. So just trying to figure out, again, something to talk to my midwife about. But yeah, just finding the balance of food. And obviously with not sleeping very well recently, my like schedule of awake and asleep is a little bit off. And that's also throwing me off because I have a later breakfast. But when I have a filling breakfast, I still feel like, okay, well this is the time I'm supposed to be having lunch, so I should eat some lunch now. And then I end up being a bit peckish when I'm teaching. I don't know what makes me hungry about teaching or makes me hungry while teaching, but I always end up need to have some sort of snack. But yeah, I'm a little bit thrown off there. So I would not say that I'm actually overeating. I would say my calories are probably still lower than what they maybe should be. Again, something to discuss with my midwife, but mentally I'm like, ooh, this is a lot of food. And it's not even that my portions are that big, because when I sit down to have dinner, I don't eat a lot. So that is my current conundrum. I'm kind of just like, what's happening here? But overall, I would say that the weight gain is like where it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be about 1 pound a week in your second trimester. It took a little while for that to kind of start, and I think that I will hopefully kind of stay on that more trim side of things throughout the rest of the pregnancy, but who knows? Maybe I'll start gaining a lot more weight. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just looking up other symptoms for a second trimester that kind of might help me answer some of the questions for you guys. Oh, baby movement. Yes. Baby girl absolutely loves to kick me. Scotty finally got to feel her the day that I turned 6 months, so literally a month ago. I had been trying to catch her. I was calling her a turtle for a while because I get him to put his hand on my tummy and then she'd stop kicking. And this was after like, you know, repeated kicks. And I'm like, girl, come on. So she was a little turtle. She kind of like retracted into her shell. But he finally caught her. It was really funny. It was like really early in the morning. And I was just like, feel her. And he was like, what was that? Was that you? And I was like, no, that wasn't me. So that was kind of cute. Obviously, he doesn't care quite as much as I do. And then a couple weeks ago, I was having a bath. And that was the first time that I saw her kick. So up until like, literally that's the only point that I've watched her kick. Everything else I can feel hiccups now apparently, although I don't know the difference of the way it feels yet. But I have not actively like stared at my stomach waiting to see her move again. Although I'm thinking about doing it again because it was really fun to see when I was in the tub. She definitely moves a lot more. She loves to kick the ultrasound tech. Whenever they go below my belly button and like really like push in, like inevitably she kicks them and like hoofs them, and it's so funny. Some people mentioned Braxton Hicks in their second trimester. Haven't had that, or if I have, it's not been anything of note. So I'm assuming that I haven't had anything. Round ligament pain I have had on and off. And actually, I would say it was much more prominent in December before I was even really showing that I would feel it. It hasn't been so much common in the last couple of weeks. Again, I think if I wasn't wearing the belly band on days that I was like super active, I may have felt them more. But they haven't been super prominent, but I'm definitely aware of them. There's been a couple other like random like pains here and there. One that I was not happy with that didn't feel like round ligament pain, but I can't tell you what it was. It only happened like the one time, so I never really looked into it. I haven't had any stretch marks, nothing formed yet. My boobs have definitely increased a little bit in size, and again, I can tell in certain bras where I'm like, oh, this looks a little snugger than usual, and I really need to use this as an excuse to get rid of some old bras that already didn't fit me before pregnancy, that I just kind of keep where like the off chance that I like really desperately need another bra or like a certain cut of bra for an outfit. So I really need to do that. I need to purge that. I haven't bought any other kind of maternity things beyond what I mentioned, I think in the last video. Have debated it, have seen many recommendations from Amazon on different brands that everyone's absolutely loving. I've been living in these Lulu leggings. The Lulu lines have been perfect for me. They still sit tall enough on my belly. They don't roll down, but I have been given a recommendation for a legging on Amazon that apparently is a Lulu dupe, but actually has a belly band that stays up. So I think that I might invest in a pair of those. But I have absolutely been loving my Lululemon leggings. They have been absolute clutch through all of this. Speaking of other clothes in general, I would say most of my jeans don't fit anymore. There's ones that like I haven't even tried to put on because they were kind of snug, you know, just to begin with. So I knew as soon as I like popped, it wasn't gonna happen. My two biggest pairs of jeans are both getting a little bit snug. So there's that. Now I am resisting buying too much maternity clothes. I'm waiting for dresses. I wore my little $15 Walmart dress to work the other day and it was so comfortable. And we had some really nice weather. So when the weather is nice, I plan on wearing more dresses because there have been some days where I've absolutely not wanted anything near my stomach. No bands, nothing. I'm like, don't touch me. I don't want to get dressed for work. It was a struggle. So getting dressed for work has been a bit of a struggle. I'm definitely leaning into leggings and shirts and just like tanks and cardigans and stuff so that it can, I don't mind if it's form-fitting, but I just need to be comfortable. But jeans wise, I'm running out of time with them, that's for sure. But I have seen some like extenders that fit just over the buckle and Velcro so that you can still wear them a little bit longer. But like, I feel like they're really pricey for what they are. That I'm gonna look into because I know that if we have a second child, your body kind of bounces into pregnancy mode a lot faster and you show a lot faster and can get a lot larger. So I think if we do decide to have a second child, that's when the maternity clothes are really gonna be a thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens if I end up caving or just ending up buying a lot more dresses. Maybe I'll become a dress girly. I doubt it, but a girl can hope, a girl can dream. All right, I'm gonna wrap that up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other pregnancy type questions, you can hit me up in the comments below. You can hit me up on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya.